creating transformative tools with Claude Code, a game changer for business efficiency and interaction. Using Claude Code, I revolutionized support and Slack systems, enhancing business operations.
Can you just give me a list of real business and life use cases that we have built in our setup that I can show my lovely viewers on YouTube as an example of what we've built? For each one, I just want like a quick one-liner. All right, so here's an example of all of the stuff that I've built using Claude Code over the last 2 months. Firstly, a support ticket pipeline. And so what I created in Claude Code is this thing that like automatically creates like support tickets anytime a student messages us in Slack. And so that's available in a dashboard and also pings alerts to a sort of private Slack channel that we have in the team, which says that, hey, John Smith posted this support request, someone please reply to him, you know, that kind of idea. On top of that, I created a web interface that the coaches can log into so they can see which Slack channels for which students need responses. And so they're able to then just click a button, it takes them directly to Slack and they can respond to the student there and then. I created a handful of student-facing Slack bots. So the problem we were having is that previously we were giving our students a bunch of custom GPTs. But the problem we found with custom GPTs is that we couldn't actually see how the students were interacting with the custom GPTs. It was kind of annoying because then I couldn't audit other custom GPTs actually giving the students useful advice. And I said to Claude Code, like, is it possible that we can recreate the functionality of a custom GPT within a Slack bot so that if students are on Slack anyway, they're just able to message the bot and get the same kind of stuff. But then we as the coaching team have access to the conversation so we can sort of like audit the agents and make sure they're doing sensible things. And so over the course of about a weekend, I coded all of this up using Claude Code, using Python servers, making sure that we have everything in a database that is SOC 2 compliant. So like enterprise level security so that we don't like accidentally leak any conversations that students are having. And so we created a bunch of Slack bots that students have been engaging with and they're having a great time talking to. For example, there is a Dumbledore, the DM agent. And so we've had like over 100 of our students send thousands and thousands of messages to Dumbledore, the Slack bot. And Dumbledore has been trained on our like internal DM methodology for how to sort of convert a cold prospect into a warm lead and get them on a sales call so that they can grow their business. And so students are like copying and pasting LinkedIn profiles of their prospects into Dumbledore and Dumbledore is helping them craft outreach messages. If a student is in a DM conversation with like a prospect and they're like struggling to turn it into a call, they'll just like screenshot the conversation, stick it into Dumbledore, and Dumbledore will give them advice based on our Connect, Understand, Invite framework, for example. So we have Dumbledore, the DM agent, we have Lupin, the LinkedIn agent, we have Sprout, the sales agent. By the time this video comes out, we'll have released Flitwick, who's like the delight agent that helps students like craft a delightful customer experience for their coaching or consulting or service business. And I'm working on a bunch more, which is super exciting. But the really cool thing about this is that the students can give us feedback. I can see the stats on how much people are interacting with these agents. I can literally read the conversations that students are having with the agents. So I read the conversations to see like, are the agents giving students sensible advice? And so if you use Slack in your business or in your work, then did you know you can ask Claude Code to help you figure out what Slack bots you can create that make your life easier?